EVENta, or should I say the new EVENta, because it has been reformulated. Hey, look, we know EVENta as a post-workout or the perfect post-workout supplement, and it is absolutely that, with the perfect ratio and blend of amino acids. And by the way, let me give you a little tip. I personally take EVENta after every workout, and I do so within 30 minutes after exercise, because you need to utilize those amino acids for recovery. In 30 minutes after you exercise or any stressful event is the perfect time to take EVENta. But I said it's the new EVENta, and you see it pictured here in pills and liquid. And I sure do appreciate that, because one of the battles that we have is getting things across a compromised digestive system. And the liquids are perfect for that. I also use all of the liquids in the BioCell formulas for those who are very sensitive and have compromised digestion. So we are very appreciative of the liquid formulas. But the new EVENta, what do I mean by that? Well, the new EVENta was really redesigned by Dr. Shane Morris. And I sure do appreciate it, because we see so many inflammation cases today. Well, intracellular or cellular inflammation is really the big problem with the epidemic of not only hormone problems, but of many of the conditions that we see in our practice, from heart disease all the way through diabetes, thyroid conditions, you name it, inflammation's the cause. Well, you may not have thought about EVENta as an inflammation product, but it sure is, because it does raise nitric oxide. Now look, you're familiar with nitric oxide with heart disease research, and there's a lot of new research there. The fact that it can dilate the vessels and downregulate arterial inflammation. So nitric oxide has a lot of research for that. So EVENta, absolutely, because of its raising of nitric oxide, can be used in some of those protocols. However, it also needs to be used, I use it with EPIC. Now we know EPIC as really helping with something called the no-ono cycle, which is a positive feedback loop inflammation cycle that happens within the cell. And if you need some review on that, go and watch the EPIC clip that I did about that formula. But I like to use these two together to downregulate cellular inflammation. That means that it can be in so many of your protocols. And I have to say, EVENta is probably, out of all the BioCell formulas, the least appreciated, because we think of it as just a post-workout supplement. But really, it is more than that, because it needs to be matched with EPIC. And I do this very often, because how it works is nitric oxide works in a complicated fashion with something called superoxide and peroxynitrite. And in this no-ono cycle, these are the bad guys. Nitric oxide was thought, yes, it could raise too much and cause too much of this nasty free radical called peroxynitrite. But what we know now is that nitric oxide can actually help in the cycle. So raising nitric oxide is a positive, because I believe that it really helps us to downregulate the amount of peroxynitrite and superoxide. So it needs to be used in your formulas. And look, there's also a lot of research with nitric oxide and also sexual dysfunction and raising nitric oxide and how it improves that. As a matter of fact, there's so many formulas out on the market right now that are promoting nitric oxide in their product for such cases. But I can tell you this product truly does raise nitric oxide. So that means that it can be also thought of as utilization in sexual dysfunction. So think of nitric oxide, think of EVENta. Three things: inflammation, sexual dysfunction, and of course, inflammatory types of conditions such as heart disease, etc. Nitric oxide is shown to actually help in all of those conditions. So I hope this helps.